Welcome back, everybody.
What's up?
You want to introduce our guest today?
Yeah, we got Caleb Gregory.
Oh shit! K-Tub had to bounce out early. He had a class that he had to attend, so Francisco is here doing the intro with me, which is different. I'm totally down for this, dude. I like this whole idea of this thing.
Yeah, first returning guest, first one to do the intro.
I wonder if. Yeah. Look at you. Big dick
I'm setting
energy.
milestones, dude. I'm gonna have a picture of me right here.
Hell yeah.
Shit.
Have you seen that picture of Joe Rogan on the fucking bear?
Oh, dude, that shit's fucking amazing.
I'm buying
Has the bald
that.
eagle.
When I have the money where I'm just like, yeah, I can fucking blow the money. I don't care.
That
I'm
shit's
buying
sick,
a
dude.
big ass
I
print
really
of it.
fucking like that shit.
Hell
You got the UFOs in the back too?
Hell yeah. And I believe, but I could be totally wrong, that Jamie is the one being abducted.
Yeah,
but
I saw that too, but I haven't really seen anything about it.
You gotta assume.
Right.
But yeah, definitely gonna have that of you though, just there, and then have like a flag in the background with a fucking with a bald eagle flying in the back.
You're gonna have me standing on the arch.
What's his name again? Dred
Scott.
Scott.
I'm gonna be his fucking lawyer in the picture.
Oh, your law school books and everything else. But yeah, I mean, without further, I don't know if I want to introduce you or introduce Caleb.
Just introduce me, fuck it.
All right, yeah. Without further ado, help us welcome our guest Francisco as we start the episode now.
Yes! Welcome to the Nick and Tub
podcast. That was good. Again, I'm always fucking stoked on it.
I'm like, that fucking dumb podcast! I like it! It's fucking good shit! That was so good.
Dude, this is the best fucking thing we've ever done.
Do I get up close to it again? Or can I sit back here?
What?
Do I gotta get up close to it again like
Oh
this?
yeah, you just bring it near you though. You just like pick it up, drag it. Fuck. It's as if mics have completely changed since the last time.
Fuck it up, dude.
No, it's literally to move.
All right,
You
I
move
told
it.
I told one of our coworkers that you call people Papa, and she goes, "Was he like breastfed till he was 12?"
Oh my god! Why can't that just be an endearing thing?
I don't know, but I was fucking dying.
You know what? That's what we're
I don't
gonna.
want to spill anything on your Xbox.
That's
dude.
fine. I don't really care. It's not gonna spill. If you spill, I'd be very confused as to like how you forgot that the cup was there. If you want to move it, you can move it. By the way, we started when he brought up the fact that I called people Papa, and apparently I was breastfed until I was 12.
So can I slide it over?
Yeah, that's fine. I don't care. Whatever makes you feel more comfortable. Hey, dude.
Okay.
Cheers, by the way, gentlemen.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers, boys.
Clinks.
I mean, pop this joint open.
Since the last time,
Repeat guest. First
Yeah.
fucking repeat guest.
since the last time you were on, like a lot has changed, at least work-wise.
Not just work wise. I'm engaged now.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah.
No, that
Yeah,
happened. That
man.
happened way before or way after the podcast.
Yeah, I did.
Because it was one of those things that I called you about. In my head, it was like, yeah, that's always been a thing now.
Right.
No, it's not. Yeah, you're fucking engaged. And you
Yeah.
did that in Hawaii?
Yeah, Hawaii.
Okay.
It was northern Oahu.
It was really cute.
Dude,
by the
it was,
way.
it was fucking beautiful.
It's the only Instagram post I've ever teared up at.
You were nervous the whole time, huh?
I was shitting bricks the whole time.
I remember you.
It was great though because I took my parents with me.
Yeah.
So the reason that we went to Hawaii was supposed to be for my mom's 50th birthday. And it just happened to work out. I was like, you know what? I'm going to pop the ring.
Sorry. Okay, hold on. You're going to have to repeat that because I was checking sound because I was
No,
like,
it's all
fuck, I
good.
didn't check your levels, but your levels are fine.
All right.
And then you clapped and I was like, what is happening right now? Okay, do you want to just clap and then explain that again?
Yeah.
All right, 1, 2, 3.
Nice.
Okay, cool.
Gotta get
So-
out of the way.
All right.
Again?
So I went to Hawaii
Yes.
for my mom's 50th birthday. And then we drove up north. I got a rental car. We drove up north and then we were walking. What the fuck was that place called, dude? It's called like Huawili, some bullshit like that. It was like a botanical garden. And we walked the entire botanical garden. Just, it was nice. It was really beautiful. There weren't really tourists up there. So we were just with natives, really. And we got to the waterfall. And then my parents were just looking at it. And then they knew I was going to propose. So my dad just turned around and just started recording.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And then...
Was it like
happened, dude.
right away the second he started recording because you had to jump into it?
Yeah.
Is she the type to like dig and figure it out?
Not really, dude.
Okay.
Believe it or not, I actually had the ring in my pocket
The whole time?
like the majority of the time.
Wow.
And so we were hugging, so
Yeah.
I had her on this side to my right side.
Right.
And yeah, I'm surprised you didn't find out. Fuck.
It was cute. It was very cute.
Yeah, it was great, dude.
I'd say we can. We always say that we're gonna like post up things with the post, and we never do.
And we don't.
Yeah, I mean, we can say like, oh, I mean, if you really want to see it, and you know Francisco's
He's
social
tagged.
media,
Go on his Instagram. It's
yeah,
right
you
there.
can go see it there. And do me a favor and just close the door, just in case all that noise picks up. And then work, dude. Okay? So I want to say Minnesota, but it's not.
No.
Missouri.
Missouri. There we go.
Yeah, I was in Missouri for a month, and I came back for a day. So
Was
I don't
it
know,
really
did I
just
tell
one
did I tell you guys
day?
about that?
Yeah, well, I knew about that because of Yvonne, but I didn't know
shit.
about that until like it already was starting to happen. I was like,
Like
oh,
they
shit.
flew you out after 2 weeks, right? Flew you back home.
So they flew me back home on a Friday.
Uh huh.
I flew into Burbank, Bob Hope.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to Burbank at like 3:00. I got home like at 5. Dude, I was fucking dead. So I knocked the fuck out.
Yeah.
And then woke up on Saturday morning, and then I literally just started packing, dude. I had to leave early Sunday morning.
What?
Yeah.
Because he came and visited California in the middle of his trip.
Yeah.
No, I know, but like,
Literally, my flight was at 5 a.m. on Sunday.
oh my god.
Yeah. So
What time did you land on Friday, or was it
like at 3
p.m.?
3 p.m. Yeah.
Okay, so you ended up knocking out early on Friday,
Right.
and then did you have at least a good Saturday?
Decent. I just went out to eat with Yvonne.
I mean, that's
Yeah. But it was like I was dead as fuck. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because
Fly out for dinner, fly back.
right. Yeah, I was dead as fuck because the time difference was really fucking me up.
yeah.
So so this is the worst part. I had to fly back, and I had a layover in Dallas. My flight got delayed in Dallas. I was at the airport for 8 hours. So I got to St. Louis like at 6 p.m. And then I had to go to Enterprise, and then I drove all the way back to Farmington. So I got to the hotel, dude, like at fucking 10:30, and I had to work at 5 that next morning.
Oh no.
Yeah, dude, shit was rough. So I literally just came back home and restocked on clothes.
Fuck. Had they known that, like, why make the flight at 5 a.m. on Sunday?
I don't know.
That doesn't make any
That's what I
sense.
was
You
doing,
didn't get
yeah.
to choose any of
I
that.
didn't get to choose any of them. I just got to choose the airport, and I chose Bob Hope.
That's just so shitty that like you ended up having to go to work. Because in my head, what I'm thinking is they were probably like, oh, we don't want you to come back late on a Sunday, be tired, and miss work on Monday.
Right.
But you were late back anyway because you had a
Yeah.
fucking 8 hour layover. Which
Yeah, it was fucking terrible.
that's Did you even go and do anything in the meantime
I just went to a bar, dude.
in the airport?
Yeah, in the airport. I just went to a bar, and then I walked out for a little bit. Then I had to come back through fucking TSA. So it was kind of a bitch.
That sucks.
Yeah, but it wasn't too bad. I'm going back to Dallas in October, actually,
For
just to fucking chill and play pool.
to chill and play pool. Of all fucking things. You like playing pool?
I love playing pool.
Bro, he went to Sharky's one time and he got hooked.
We should go play pool.
Yeah, I think I got scammed that time.
Wait, why?
I went with Caleb probably like a week before I left, right?
Yeah,
Maybe,
about.
yeah, just about a week before I left, dude. We were just fucking scratching. Dude, good thing we're the only ones fucking there.
So you're not a pool shark then?
Yeah.
You are?
Oh yeah, dude.
Like you're good at pool?
I'm pretty decent. When I get in the rhythm, I'm decent.
After you just said you were
no,
scratching
that
all
was
the time?
that was a bad day. That was
Okay.
a bad day.
Yeah, it was like we played one game for longer than a game should go, and then whoever won, it wasn't because you knocked the 8-ball in, it was because the loser knocked the 8-ball in.
Yeah, that was a bad game. But I play pool probably like maybe 2 games every night
Yeah.
because I have a pool table at home.
Oh, no
yeah,
shit.
he went to Sharky's, loved it so much, went and got a pool table.
You bought one.
I
You
got
bought one.
dude. I got it for
Bought?
free.
No, yeah.
From who?
Some fucking goon in Newport Beach.
Just didn't want it?
They had a pool table, and then I hit them up, and they wanted like $50 for it, dude. And then I was like, "Yo, dog, I'm at Edwards Air Force Base."
You're talking to the king of offer up right here.
I
Finesse.
I'll
king.
finesse anybody. I did a couple of times, like for my car parts and shit. I said like, "Yo, dog, I'm in Cal City. Meet me in Palmdale." So I've done shit like that, but
That's pretty good.
I ended up getting it for free. So
No shit.
yeah, it was dope. It came with like 6 sticks,
Oh wow.
Brand new set of balls. Had a
Did you
shitload
have
of
to
chalk.
like redo the table at all?
I should.
Like get it refilled?
Yeah, I should get it refelted. But I kind of want to actually fix the bumpers and shit. So that's gonna be a long time project until I finish my fucking car.
That's still fucking crazy to get a pool table.
Yeah, it
for
was free, and it's a pro size. Yeah, it's a 9-foot.
I'm about to just go look on OfferUp and fucking find one because I was like, that would be perfect in this house.
Bro,
but
he finds shit all the time. Like,
Yeah,
that's so
the
dope.
hardest part is just bringing that shit, dude.
Yeah.
I had to take 7 people. I rented a U-Haul, drove that shit down there, got the 7 people, brought my other car and the U-Haul truck, and we just all took that shit like that. So,
Why'd you need 7 people?
dude, they're heavy as fuck.
No, I know, but
No,
like,
dude,
7 people heavy?
Dude,
Yeah.
7 people.
have you ever
heavy.
picked one up?
I've picked up the slats individually.
The slats are fucking ridiculous.
Dude, no, that shit was ridiculous.
It took me, my closest brother in age, Josh, and my dad just to pick one slat up for our pool table because it's like pure fucking stone.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that you said closest brother. And then I was like, hold on, did you just favorite one of your
No.
I know, and then you said an age, but I was like, that's so fucked up.
Yeah, but I play pool a lot. I was actually, when I was in Missouri, I was playing pool a lot too. There was this bar next to my hotel called Sticks and Steins, and dude, I just go in there and just fucking hammer people.
That's fucking tight.
So you go into Dallas for the purpose of pool?
Yeah, I'm meeting up with a lot of friends that I know through cars.
I think you told me about this.
We got a fucking Airbnb, and the Airbnb
Bitchin' ass place, bro.
has a fucking pool table right there. So
That's
that was the
tight.
plan. So we got another buddy coming from Colorado,
Yeah.
and so we're all just gonna meet up right there for a whole weekend, 3 days.
To just get fucked up and play pool.
Exactly.
That's tight.
Yeah.
That's really tight. Why Dallas in particular?
My buddy that lives out here, his real mom lives out there.
Oh,
So
okay.
he's gonna make a trip out of it. And
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? Let's just get a fucking Airbnb. And you know what I mean?
Make a thing out of it
Right.
for yourselves.
Because I'm trying to travel more, dude. Especially after going to Hawaii and Missouri.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I fell in love with Missouri.
Yeah, I know. You were telling me a little bit about that. That you would actually move out there.
I would move out there in a heartbeat.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
That's where the main hub is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's in Farmington, so it's like an hour from St. Louis.
Yeah. Main hub, for anybody listening, the main hub of US Tool, the company that they work for.
I remember I checked up on him when you were out there at like the perfect time because I'm like, yo, bro, like, how's it going out there in Missouri? And he'll like text me back in all caps, OMG, bro, I'm crying right now. I'm like, what happened?
That was when I went to go visit the Dred Scott Court. Do you know
what?
Do you know who Dred Scott is?
I think I've heard the name.
So
Is this something in history?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Dred Scott was basically a slave, and he had his trial at the courthouse in St. Louis, and it's been preserved since 1930. So I got to actually go in it, and literally, dude, it was like the most eerie feeling I've ever felt.
Wasn't it like Dred Scott versus
Sanford.
Okay, so that's why I remember the name a little bit.
it
I
was,
just don't remember the case.
Dred Scott v. Sanford, 1857.
Okay.
And so basically, the story behind that is, so Dred Scott was born to a family in Virginia. He was part of a slave family already. The family were named the Blow family. So they had a plantation in Virginia, and they decided to move to Alabama. And when they came to Alabama, they tried to start a plantation, but they kind of fucked up. It wasn't really doing so good. So they moved to St. Louis, and they bought a hotel. But for the hotel, they needed a certain down payment. So what they ended up doing was they sold Dred Scott. And they sold Dred
It's
Scott.
so fucking crazy to hear that.
It's insane, dude. But so they got money from Dred Scott. They sold Dred Scott to a doctor. His name was John Emerson. He was in the military. He was a surgeon. And so since he was in the military, he was always moving. He was moving fucking north, coming back to the south. He actually moved to Fort Armstrong in Illinois. And because of the Missouri Compromise and the Northwest Ordinance, Illinois was a free state, right? And when he was up there, he married this woman named Harriet Robinson, which is now known as Harriet Scott. And it was really rare for slaves to get married, but John Emerson let that happen. And he ended up moving back down to, I believe it was Mississippi. And he got married with a woman named, I think her name was Irene Sanford. And So what they did is they brought the Scotts back, and on the way, I think she was born in St. Louis. Actually, they had a daughter, and so came all the way to Mississippi. They were there for a couple of years, and then John Emerson dies. So now the person that's basically taking care of the of the Scotts is Irene Sanford, and they actually tried to buy their freedom. Because that was pretty orthodox back then. People can buy their freedoms usually, especially like in an urban place. And she decided not to sell them, so they decided to sue because in the fugitive slave laws, basically, if a slave touches the North, they're free people. And so because of that, he decided to sue. He went to the courthouse that I was at, right?
Yeah.
And believe it or not, on the steps of that courthouse where I was at, that's where he got sold to John Emerson.
That's fucking weird.
Because they have steps outside,
yeah,
and that's where they held the auctions. So that's exactly where he was sold. And he went back to that courthouse to try to sue for his freedom. And when he sued for his freedom, he couldn't prove that he actually lived in Illinois. So the case got dismissed. And I believe it was 2 years later, they tried to sue again, and now they actually had evidence. And the state court didn't want to assume that case, so it went straight to the Supreme Court. So yeah, it was pretty fucked up. And so the Supreme Court, there was this Supreme Justice named Roger Taney, and Roger Taney basically said that he had no standing because he technically wasn't an American citizen. So that was dismissed. And they went back to the Supreme Court trying to appeal that. And when they appealed it, he basically said that slaves are property. And that's basically what the precedent said from the court case.
Yeah.
And there was this other lawyer after that. And what he decided to do was he was trying to sue again because Irene Sanford actually married someone from New York. So in New York, she was married with this one guy. And I believe she ended up passing away, and she gave the slaves to her brother, which also lived in New York. So they were being bondaged down in the South while their owner was in New York. And so they decided to sue that. And what happened was the guy ended up dying. Sanford, the actual guy, his name is actually Sanford, but the court clerk fucking misspelled his name.
Oh.
Yeah, so that stayed. And what was that? So they sued that back. And then what happened was John Sanford, which was the brother of the lady, right?
Irene?
Yeah, of Irene, the brother of Irene.
Who now owns the Scotts.
Right. So he now owned the Scotts. And then what he basically does is he decides to... What the fuck does he do? I think he marries someone. And it goes to one of the senators that's in New York who's like a super anti-slavery. He's a super outspoken opponent of slavery. And literally overnight, because the Sanford dies, right?
Yeah.
And so basically the slaves go to him because he assumes them because he's the next one to go. And he didn't want the media to know about this. And this is my favorite part.
So wait, the slaves go to the senator?
Yeah.
How?
Because the sister that he was with, because Sanford died. Okay, for sure. The sister that he was with, because Sanford died.
Yeah.
And the sister decided to give him to her brother. Her brother was a senator.
Oh,
and his name is Calvin Shaffey.
Okay.
And
so
he doesn't.
So now the senator of New York,
right,
is the
he's
owner
a sitting
of the Scotts.
senator, huge anti-slavery. He's a big abolitionist.
Really?
And so what he does is he decides to sell them overnight. So he sold Harriet, Dred Scott, and his two kids, and he sold them to this guy named Taylor. What the fuck was his fucking last name? What did I say in the beginning? Oh, Taylor Blow. Do you know who that is?
No fucking way.
Taylor Blow.
Is it the son?
He grew up in the foundation where Dred Scott grew up.
Yeah, it's the same last name.
Yeah. So Taylor Blow goes to St. Louis, where I was at, and frees the slaves himself.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's
full circle.
Yeah, it's literally a fucking circle.
So
dude.
he actually did end up getting his freedom.
He was alive for 18 months after that.
Oh,
and
God.
Yeah, he died after that. I think he died of tuberculosis.
So the guy,
That's fucking rough.
the senator, which was the brother, right?
Yeah, Shaffey.
Was against slavery? You said?
Yeah. So
and
because
he sold them. Why didn't he just free them? I'm confused on that.
Because I don't think he wanted to go down to St. Louis.
Okay.
I think that was the reason.
It's bad for media.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he just didn't want anything to do with them.
So he wanted it off his hands as quick as possible.
As quick as possible.
Okay.
Yeah. And Taylor Blow is the one that takes them.
That's so fucking crazy.
Yeah. And he takes them to St. Louis and frees them himself.
That's
Yeah,
that's dope as shit.
Did he free him at the same courthouse?
Yeah, same courthouse.
Oh my God.
And it's crazy because the Blow family actually started a hotel in St. Louis, and Dred Scott was working there for 18 months before he died.
Oh, you said Dred Scott got sick and died.
Yeah.
I thought you were talking
Yeah,
about.
he got freed and then 18 months later died.
Yeah, he died.
Damn.
Yeah, and so he didn't get to see the Civil War. His wife lived till 1876. So she got to see everything. She got to see slaves become citizens. All
What
that
about
shit.
his kids?
I haven't really done research on the kids.
Yeah.
But I'm sure they were alive.
You've done your research though. Holy
yeah,
shit.
So his
I mean,
bloodline could possibly still exist now.
Mm-hmm.
That's fucking wild.
Very likely.
Yeah, it was great, dude. There was a statue of Dred Scott and Harriet. They were just fucking crying, dude. And there's a statue right there in St. Louis, dude. And I took a picture with that shit.
I can see now why,
Dude,
with all the information that you had, what
dude,
that
I was
felt
getting
like.
emotional as fuck. I was standing on the fucking steps where he was sold.
That's so crazy. Sold and then freed as well. Damn.
Yeah, it's insane, dude.
And you're like, I love that fucking place.
Yeah, it's crazy, dude. Like the court cases that went along with it are wild because that guy Roger Taney was actually appointed by James Buchanan. James Buchanan was probably one of the fucking worst presidents that's ever been. And it's crazy because in 1861 on March, he is the one that gave the oath to Abraham Lincoln.
Taney was or Buchanan?
Taney was.
And what do you
He
mean the
was
oath?
to become president.
Oh, he gave them the oath.
Yes.
Oh, so
Oh,
you're saying like the worst
shit.
president
Yes.
to a
Yeah, so the
interesting.
guy that got appointed by James Buchanan,
Yeah.
he was completely pro-slavery. He was actually a slave owner himself, and he's the one that gave the oath to Abraham Lincoln.
Shit.
I read something, but I know no details about it just because I was like, I didn't care to at that time read into it. But Abraham Lincoln didn't free the slaves out of the kindness of his heart.
No, he didn't. I think he was a slave owner growing up.
And didn't he free the slaves as a business deal?
He did. I mean, the Emancipation Proclamation kind of gave him his medallion, if you say.
Yeah.
But I honestly, I'm not a big fan of him because I feel like he was just trying to go against the South.
Yeah.
Because of the whole tension. There was a lot of sectionalism. So basically, back then, if you were to go to the South, it's literally like a fucking foreign country.
Yeah.
Because there you have farms, and you go to the North, you got the textile mills, and they actually passed a lot of sectionalism laws, and they were taxing cotton and indigo. Do you know what indigo is? Mm-mm. It's like purple stain.
Okay.
And they grew it down in the South.
Okay.
So they're treating
and
like a tariff.
Yeah. So that was done through Abraham Lincoln.
Lincoln tariffed it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that's why I'm kind of whatever on Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
But yeah,
he gets the limelight though for the abolition.
I think he just did it for clout, honestly.
I'm sure that's exactly what he's thinking at the time.
Called Abraham Lincoln a clout chaser.
Yeah, honestly.
Oh my
shit.
fucking God.
So when okay, this is where I'm going to get real bad at geography. Where's that arch? That's in St. Louis, right?
It's in St. Louis. Yeah,
Okay.
I went on top of it.
Yeah, I saw that.
The reason for that arch is it's basically a symbol for manifest destiny. Manifest destiny is basically westward expansion. And
Back when we were only 13 colonies and we wanted more.
Right. The Louisiana Purchase in 1803. And Lewis and Clark started their expedition in St. Charles, which is probably like 30 minutes from that spot. They took the Mississippi River up north to get to the Oregon Territory. So that's basically
fucking far.
Yeah, it's far as shit. So that's basically why that arch is there. It was actually built in the 60s. There was a competition of architects for it. So there were several architects trying to basically make a design to symbolize manifest destiny. And I forgot the guy's name that actually won it. But he never got to actually see it finished. I think he died a year before it was done.
That sucks.
Oh,
Yeah.
That fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Damn, St. Louis is a city of damn, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, it was fucking beautiful though, dude. Like even just seeing like the Mississippi River, like so much shit I've read about it, like Emmett Till, all this shit, and it's like it was unreal, dude. I literally recorded just the fucking river. Yeah.
It's so crazy that for someone who's educated, it can mean like tons more to someone who's not.
Oh, that's what I was just gonna say. Is like a history geek. Like that's probably your
especially
haven.
like when I went to Pearl Harbor, also I felt the same shit, dude. Yeah. So, but I think I like Missouri a little more than Pearl Harbor because I was a lot more attached to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's way more like American history.
Right.
And Hawaii's like, oh yeah, they had people
exactly.
and we were
And
like, mine.
Yeah, I'm not really about like modern American history.
Yeah.
Because I mean that's pretty recent. But I really fucking love like fugitive slave laws, slave codes. I love all that shit, dude. It's fucking interesting.
That's dope. I mean, I personally, like, I would have just been like, yo, this arch is sick. I get to go on top of it. Like, you know, just getting to see like the nature
really
around
big.
it.
Right.
But
it was great. Actually under it is a museum. And it's
oh no shit, I didn't know that.
The majority is just dedicated to Thomas Jefferson. Yeah.
That's fucking cool.
Dude, it was amazing. I was just in there, I was like, holy shit.
How was
that's
it?
your fucking you're a kid in a candy store in that place, bro.
How was it standing at the bottom looking up?
Insane. I have a picture too.
It's just crazy though, because like you see pictures.
Yeah, I believe it's 60,000 feet high.
Is it fucking really?
Yeah.
Is it really?
Dude, it's the highest shit in St. Louis. Yeah. And when
damn, that's a fucking
when I went up there, dude, it was actually a little windy. So you can just kind of feel it sway.
Yeah. No. I wonder, like, have they done renovations to it over time?
I don't think they have.
Nothing.
It's made out of straight steel, so I don't think that shit's going anywhere.
I don't think it is either.
Yeah, they haven't. There hasn't even been a tornado that's been close to it.
I didn't even think of that.
Are they? And
that shit would probably break up a tornado if it was sturdy enough.
They're a tornado state, right?
Yeah.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, I don't think there's been a tornado in St. Louis for over 100 years.
No shit, dude.
Yeah.
That's all fucking wild as hell. So you really did enjoy the hell out of that trip.
Yeah, I did. I also went to Ulysses S. Grant's house.
What?
Yeah. So I had a great time there. So basically what happened with him was he got married and his father gifted him 25,000 acres in St. Louis. And,
what?
it's
My father
insane.
gave me a small loan of $1 million.
It's insane, dude. So he built his farm there. The only lame thing was that you couldn't go inside his farm. I guess they were trying to preserve it even more. But he had a lot of wildlife. So he had like lions, zebras, giraffes.
Shit.
He had them all outside, dude. So they've kept that going. And recently, I think, what is it actually called? Busch? Who's the owner of Busch?
The beer?
No, the Busch Stadium.
Oh, Busch Stadium? I don't know.
Well, the owner of Busch Stadium just bought it in 2016.
Really?
Yeah. I think he bought it for like $30 billion or some shit like that, dude.
30 million or 30
billion?
Billion.
Yeah, dude.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Sony is worth 30 billion.
Hold on. Hold on. I want to see
Look
this.
that up.
What's the ranch called?
Just put Grant's Farm.
Okay.
Put Grant's Farm recent purchase.
All right.
All right. So how much do you know about the Lewis and Clark expeditions?
Not too much, to be honest.
How much of a role was Pocahontas? Like, she gets all the mainstream shit.
Yeah,
just the same way that Lincoln does, but
I don't.
You don't know.
She doesn't have shit.
Yeah, like
she really doesn't have shit.
She's on the gold coin, the dollar coin, and got her own movie.
Yeah, she hasn't really done shit, to be honest.
I think about that a lot. Like how fucking crazy it must have been for whether it was Lewis and Clark or another expedition team to like stumble across like Yosemite or something.
Right.
To be out in this area that's considered a new world with no fucking clue what's going on, no maps.
Right.
And you encounter like North American like animals for the first time, like fucking bears and mountain lions.
It was insane for them. I think that was probably a big reason. The wildlife, I think, was a big reason why Jefferson actually bought it in 1803. Yeah, I think that was a really convincing reason for him.
Didn't he have?
Oh, okay.
I fucking remember. Didn't he have a theory that like woolly mammoths were still alive?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
he was in his fucking journal.
Yeah, he had a theory in woolly mammoths were still alive in North America.
Anheuser-Busch, the people who own it's the Bush family that owns it. It's 30 million.
30 million. Okay,
30 million.
I was gonna say 30 billion is a lot of
money. You were close.
I still got the 30 right now.
One digit off.
That's more than one digit. That's quite a bit.
No, that is more than one digit. I'm just
like
fucking retard.
Three full digits.
Yeah.
It's 1,000 times more. Or no, yeah, 1,000 times more. That's still fucking crazy. That's a big ass purchase.
Yeah, it's fucking
That's a
huge,
lot of
dude.
fucking land, dude.
Yeah, it is.
Like you really can't fathom the way that looks.
25,000 acres? Fuck no.
It doesn't even make sense.
Right.
That's
And
so
it's
much
even crazier because it's Ulysses S. Grant's fucking land.
Yeah.
You know?
So are there still like, is it still preserved for the wildlife and everything else?
Yeah,
so there's still like lions and fucking.
Yeah, you can still see them, but they kind of close it off a little bit for visitors. But yeah, they're still around.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty dope, dude.
Are they like direct descendants from the ones that he fucking got?
I believe they are.
That's fucking nuts. How do they maintain that with such a small
Dude, I
gene
have
pool?
No idea.
Fucking lions are drooling all over the place.
Lions are fucking giraffes.
Jesus Christ.
Got to get some diversity in there. Do you know about the fucking wild herd of zebras that roams the Central California plains?
Yeah, it was like a
Dude,
like a
that
rich
shit
guy?
is so fucking
was his
cool.
name?
Oh fuck! It was Hearst, I think. Hearst Castle.
Right, that was the guy that was against marijuana.
Yeah, he was the one who
he
fucking
was-
started
yeah.
that whole
And,
fucking conspiracy.
he was
We
on
all
that-
here have listened to that episode of that
Yeah.
podcast.
Don't know what you're talking about.
What the fuck was he? Fuck, he was trying to say like pro something. Pro hemp? Was it pro hemp?
Well, I know hemp was involved. I don't know. I thought he was against.
He was
because
against-
hemp was competing with whatever he had.
Right.
He I think he was like super heavily involved in some sort of industry that was competing with hemp,
Yeah.
and he wanted to get hemp out of the industry, knowing how good it was, and so he started the anti-marijuana campaign. And he also had a fucking zoo and had fucking zebras and released them to the wild, and they still live.
It's so fucking crazy.
Off of the PCH.
I remember somebody posted a picture after I listened to that podcast, and I think Joe Rogan retweeted it, and it was just of the group of zebras just off the side of the road.
yeah, I've
I was
seen
like,
videos on YouTube.
Yeah,
what
it's
is
so crazy.
Like, how the fuck are they out here?
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
the guest talking about how he was driving up Central California, and his son was like, "Daddy, look, zebras!" And he's like, "Ah, you little dumb shit!" Like, and then looks outside, and there's a fucking herd of zebras.
Yeah, that's fucking
shit.
insane.
And
dude.
it's crazy that they're not even like a maintained herd. Like, that's wild
Right.
zebras that are like living and prospering in fucking California.
Yeah.
Fun thing I learned about like non-native species, and more specifically invasive species, and it fucking pissed me off, is that tumbleweeds, there's tons of different fucking species of tumbleweeds, but the main species of tumbleweed that's the most common out here are not native to North America.
Really?
They were brought here?
They were brought here.
Was it by
what?
accident? Did it leach onto somebody? That kind of thing?
So through livestock trade with Russia, we
Really?
got the modern Western tumbleweed, like the whole like tumbleweed going across the like dirt road in a Western film. That is a Russian plant in an American movie.
That's so
That's fucking
stupid.
crazy.
It's an invasive species, and as soon as it rooted here, it fucking took off because it's dry climate and that's all it needs, and it's warm here instead of like fucking Russia. And so that shit fucking took off. I learned that through the like desert preserve that we have out here. I was like walking around with it, and it was like, yeah, tumbleweeds are an invasive species, and I was like, what?
Russia invaded.
That's some bullshit.
Russia invaded.
Yeah, literally.
That's so fucking weird to think that, like, you could go walking somewhere and bring over like a new species or
On
a new
accident.
germ on accident.
That's why we don't contact any of those like isolated tribes.
Like the Sentinelese.
Yeah, off the coast of India. Like we can't.
Was that the group that murdered the guy who went and tried to find them?
Yeah, the Christian guy that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Hey, let me go convert you," and then got a spear through his chest.
What'd you fucking get, dude? What were you thinking in that moment?
He's thinking they needed Jesus.
Yeah,
and
that shit's crazy, dude.
it's so fucking wild.
Like,
How they
blinded by
preserve
idiocy.
fucking fire.
I don't know how they preserve
Dude,
fire.
they wait for lightning to strike and they preserve it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh
How
my
do
god.
What do you mean
They don't know how to
preserve-
make fire.
But what do you mean they preserve it?
As in, like
Like
if
they don't know
something-
how to make it, but they can fucking hold on to it.
Yeah, they preserve it. I don't know how
Well,
they
you
do
keep
it.
if you as long as you have stuff to burn to
Right.
keep it lit, then you can keep fire alive.
That's what I'm saying, though, is like you don't know how to make a fire, which is like one of the most basic fucking things that you can do.
Neanderthals
But-
figured it out.
But you know how to preserve it for, I don't know, I'm
well, I
assuming.
mean, preserving it is a lot easier than making it. I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, like as long as you
just gotta
have
throw shit in it.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like,
Come on.
as long as you have shit to burn, then you're chilling.
I guess in my head, it's just one of those things where it's like, I'm assuming it's got to rain out there. They probably have to hold on to the fire somehow. So they know to keep it,
They're just sitting in this fucking like TP, like fucking smoky as shit.
Because in my head, I guess because everybody that we know knows how to start a fire, it's a fucking spark on dry.
Use a fucking lighter, dumbass.
Imagine like
Bic out there.
imagine what the dude that they killed, what they found on him and what they thought of it.
Oh,
Well,
dude,
they're-
yeah, they thought he was a fucking alien. Just
Yeah.
imagine seeing helicopters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just another person alone with like different like features and skin color.
Yeah.
Fucking
They
out
would've
of this
lost their
world.
shit.
And
they
also
don't,
on
they
top
don't
of
even
that,
wear clothes, dude. Just imagine seeing them
Yeah.
with clothes.
Yeah, literally get them
You know?
shoes, bro. And on top of that, there was a ship that wrecked onto the island one time, and they that like kicked off their like Bronze Age revolution because they didn't have access to metal, and so they took the metal off the ship and put it at the end of their spears and the end of their arrows, and it like upgraded their quote unquote technology like way faster than what would have naturally happened.
I guess that's so fucking fascinating to me because it's like they had to have known when they were on that island, somebody somewhere had to have started like, we don't want to be part of society. Right.
Well, I wouldn't even say is that far. It depends on how long ago they were there. They could have just been a migrating tribe that, stayed there for a little too long, lost whatever land bridge they used to get there, or didn't build a raft back and maintain their society. Like they might not have even
their
had
society, but
they might not have even like had the whole like broken off from another main society thing. They could have just been hunter gatherers that ended up like settling.
do they know when they started there?
I'm sure they do. I think I remember reading about it, but I don't have the number off the top of my head. But like, it's so crazy too that like shows how limited like tribes and overall societies were way back when, based off of purely what the land that you live on has to offer you. If you can't grow a certain crop, then you're not going to eat any food associated with it. If you can't mine a certain ore off of your small island, then you won't have like any metal in your technology. You won't even get the chance to have a Bronze Age unless a alien ship wrecks on your shore and then you like use the technology.
Right.
But like it's really, really crazy. And that's like, I think a huge, and you can probably vouch for this, a huge reason why America got so far ahead is because when we got this country through Great Britain, like it was a gold mine, quite literally, of fucking resources. The tobacco industry fucking exploded out here. You could get textiles going. You had the gold rush in the West, and you had tons of lumber out here. And then you could mine pretty common ore out here. It's not like we had like a diamond mine like Africa does, but we have good fucking metal, lots of lumber and all this shit, and like the resources that we had
Dude,
fucking helped.
There's a badass lead mine in Missouri also. Dude, fucking beautiful. It's called Bonne Terre, and supposedly it's like 500 feet deep.
Dude, when I went out in Kansas, I visited a salt mine and we went down in it, and they said like you could survive a nuclear war under there.
That's crazy.
Like you go under that place and it's fucking insane. Like you got to keep some of the salt from the mine, and
You still have it or what?
yeah, I still have it actually
Really?
at my house. And you can't leave the salt near any garden because it will kill anything in the soil. It'll make it infertile. But it's so fucking far down. Like I don't get anxious easy at all unless it's something like I'm anticipating like an outcome. But when it comes to like my surroundings, it takes a lot to get me anxious. And I was getting really anxious because of how long it took this fucking big metal elevator to get down to the bottom of this mine. It was like no fucking light other than like the artificial like orangish bulbs that were inside the elevator.
Oh, that's so sketched.
And it was like creaky and everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like taking you down to like hundreds of feet into the ground. And it's just so fucking weird when you're that low. And so I can imagine how like the lead mine.
It was crazy, dude. It was just filled with fucking water.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess what happened was the water was overflowing, and I was reading a sign that they had right there, and they said that they have to empty 300 gallons of water every day, or else it'll overflow.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the cave that I visited in Kentucky when I went out to Tennessee to go visit my parents, the cave itself, they had to regulate the water because I don't want to butcher this. I said it on one of the podcasts before, but it was basically they have an underground water system. It's a natural system that distills the water on its way to whatever city, like hundreds of miles on the way out. But there's a cave that you can go and visit where people there was like a group, I think it was brothers, that started like this company there where they would have people stop off the side of the road and you could come down and have like beers and dance all night and stuff like that. And then I believe that when either blues or rock and roll, I can't remember, that they lost their business because another music genre came about and it basically crushed them. But you can still go visit that area and you can actually take a trip inside the cave where they have to regulate the amount of water. They built like this dam inside the cave so that the water doesn't rise too high or get too low. And so it's a 24-hour attraction. And when you get inside the boat, it's like this fucking creaky ass metal, like short. It's long, but like the sides are short kind of boat.
Narrow,
right?
Yeah, narrow. But it's when I say short, I mean literally like it's not
like
it's not that tall. The boat itself, it's just very small.
So it's like a canoe,
and they have to not
large
really.
Canoe.
It's just long.
Okay.
It's like we'll call it a long canoe. And you have to actually like balance the weight of the people. You have to look at them really quick because it will tip.
Francis was like shaking just thinking about that shit.
And they
I didn't tell you when I went fishing, right?
You brought it up.
Okay, go ahead, Nick.
They have the guide that they tell you like, okay, you have to duck your head because we have to you're going inside of a cave. And then you get to another part and he's like, you have to duck lower. So you're literally like your head is against the fucking the boat itself, because if you lift it, you'll just be scraping your head along the top of the cave.
There's water a few feet and then cave ceiling.
Yes.
And you're in a boat
and it's literally
small ass space.
No bullshit. When you get inside that boat, I think it's about 3 or 4 feet, and that's your entrance into this cave.
Holy shit.
And so they put you in there, and then you can sit up, and it's like a fucking Disneyland ride where it opens up and you're looking up at this cave.
You're like, I love pirates.
And they said there's these what is it? I think it's salt that drips from like the water that drips from the ceiling. When it drips, it creates those tiny little spikes that are on the ceiling.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's
stalactites.
Every inch is a decade.
Holy shit.
That it takes to build.
Is it limestone?
I think.
Because most stalactites and stalagmites are limestone.
I'm assuming it was limestone. I don't really remember that specific thing. I just remember him saying it was either a decade or 100 years, but I'm going to go with a decade.
Yeah.
But he said if you're looking at one that's like 4 inches long, that's a 40-year-old spike just hanging from the ceiling. And I was like, that's so fucking wild,
crazy,
dude.
Yeah, it's so fucking nuts. Crystal Cave up in Sequoia. It's in California, and if you guys like are interested, like that is so fucking cool. They have tons of like stalactites and stalagmites hanging from the ceiling and coming up from the ground. They give an educational tour teaching you about like the history of the cave and how like the geology of it works. And one of the coolest things about that was like there's running water, there's like extended overnight tours and shit like that, like super cool. But one of the coolest things they did was they said that the majority of Americans have never truly experienced like pure darkness because we're constantly around some type of artificial light. And so they shut all of the lights in the cave off for the tourists while they're in there. And I put my hand inches from my face to almost where I could feel the heat off of my hand and could not see it.
Yeah.
Couldn't see it, couldn't like wave it back and forth and see it blur. They said one time they had a tour guide who turned the lights off for the tour group in the cave, and then he tripped over a rock and knocked out. And the group didn't know that their guide was unconscious on the floor. And so they're in the dark for like a really long time in a cave where you cannot see anything. No cell service in a cave. You can't contact people. So they had to like use their flashlights. And if they fucking had flashlights on their phones at the time, I went to Crystal Cave a while ago. And this was back in the day, we had a tour that this happened to.
Imagine they confiscated the phones.
Dude, right? Like people would have fucking lost their mind.
That's so fucking terrifying.
Like people talk about how scary it would be if you like got stuck on a roller coaster and like you're right at the drop and you know, oh, it's like super scary. Fuck that. Like in a cave with the only person who knows entrances and exits and where the light switches is fucking KO'd. Like, no, bro.
Hell no. Before your fishing thing, I went on a cruise with an ex of mine, and we had gone out during the night to walk along like the edge of the ship.
Right.
And when you're in the middle of the ocean and there's literally no coast, there's no lights, there's no light towers, there's nothing. There's no up and down, there's no coast, there's nothing. It's from the bottom of the boat, which the light bleeds out a little bit onto the water, which you can barely see. So maybe, I don't know, let's call it a few yards in front of the boat, all the way up because the moon wasn't out that night. For some reason, like, I don't know why you couldn't see the stars. I don't know if there were clouds or I just don't remember seeing stars. It's just fucking, you're surrounded.
Blackness.
You're in a like a circle of dark. It's just complete blackness, and you're on a ship, and you just have this, you almost kind of forget like your directions.
Right.
You're just like, it feels like you're floating in an infinite space. I'm like, imagine like just being stuck in that.
Well, that's how like the Titanic was, dude.
Nah.
Like being in the Atlantic Ocean with no fucking technology at all.
Oh, yeah, they didn't have technology.
Yeah, they didn't have anything, dude. And they barely fucking had lifeboats, for Christ's sake. And
dude,
so
imagine being on the boat. Oh, fuck, I didn't even think about that.
And when like the boat started sinking, like all the power went out. So all of the lights from the boat went out. So it's blackness and
they have the little lights on the life rafts, like the tiny lights, but that doesn't do anything in pure darkness.
It doesn't do shit.
It bleeds out eventually.
Well, that's why like astronomy was such a fucking prevalent part of our history for hundreds and thousands of years, because like with no lights,
using the stars to like
stars
guide you.
is your navigation. Mm-hmm. That's it, man. You barely get like torches.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude.
Fishing.
Oh yeah. Dude, so I had a huge culture shock when I went to Missouri. So I had never gone fishing out here. So I went over there and I got really cool with this one guy, and he had a kayak.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, dude. So literally we drove like 5 minutes on a fucking road and pulled over to a lake.
That's tight.
Yeah, dude. So
a what?
You never heard of it out here, lake, bro. So
like bed.
So we just rode that fucking kayak on there, dude. We were just fishing. I didn't catch shit, dude, but it's fucking crazy. And then we got off the kayak and we tried. Do you guys know what noodling is?
No.
Dude, it's fucking weird. So we tried noodling, and what it basically is you get in the water.
Does it make you gay if you do it?
Something like that.
Yeah, me and this one dude went out to a lake. We noodled.
Dude, no. So you look for holes in the sand or the dirt, whatever the fuck you want to call it, and you stick your foot in there, and you wait for a catfish to bite.
Oh my god, that's so fucking cool.
Yeah, or your hand, whatever you want. But he would try with his
whatever
foot a
you
lot.
want.
Yeah, dude. So you basically wait for a catfish to bite, and then you just fucking pull that motherfucker up, dude.
Did you do it?
Yeah, I did. I couldn't get
you
shit
caught one?
though. No, I didn't catch shit.
Did one bite you?
Yeah, a couple bit me, but I couldn't get shit.
What does it feel like when they bite you?
It doesn't hurt. It's like a pinch.
They don't have teeth, right?
Yeah, no, it doesn't hurt. Dude, but the fucking guy was with us a fucking pro.
Oh, I bet. You live in Missouri. That's all you do out there is fucking drink beer and noodle.
Dude.
Using his hand?
Yes.
What were you using?
I tried my foot and my hand. I couldn't get shit.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, of course you couldn't catch it with your fucking foot.
No. But so what they do is you put your foot in there and you wait for it to bite. Once it bites, you just fucking jam your hand in there.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's
and you have
wild.
to be, I think I've seen this on like Animal Planet or some shit. Like, don't you have to be like waist deep in the water?
Yeah.
That is so fucking cool.
It's holes in the what? In the sand?
In the bank.
Yeah.
Of like the lake.
That's where the catfish are.
So like if you...
They're in the actual like...
Yeah, they're in the fucking holes. They dig holes.
Oh no shit, I didn't know that. That's why I was confused.
Yeah, like so like not all parts of like a lake or a riverbed are like a nice walk-in entrance, like a that's called a riverbank, right? Yeah. And so when you go if you were to walk down, there'd be like complete walls, and that's where like the holes where they burrow into is.
That's wild. I did not
insane,
know that.
Dude. Yeah, we had a kayak a good amount. Probably like we were on the kayak for like 3 hours, and then we stopped at a little spot, and he said, "Oh, we're gonna go noodling right here." I was like, "What the fuck is noodling?
Get your hands off me!"
My God, where the noodles at?
So was it just that spot that was like waist deep?
No, the whole time it was pretty waist deep. Yeah,
that's so crazy.
Yeah,
I went out to Canada. Lake Erie was kind of like that, where it has, I believe it's the natural ocean water comes in, but it's such a small decline that you can walk out hundreds of feet and barely be like knee or waist deep.
That's crazy, dude.
Yeah. It was and the water is so fucking clear.
Right.
Which I'm assuming out there it was.
Yeah, it was okay. It
okay.
wasn't too bad, yeah.
It wasn't dirty looking though. It was just.
It wasn't as dirty.
Yeah.
I would have expected worse. I think Santa Monica's dirtier.
Santa Monica's definitely.
Santa Monica's not setting the bar very high.
It's kind of the lowest end of our beaches.
Yeah, no, but it was pretty tight, dude. And then we went bow hunting also. And then
God damn, no wonder you want to move out there. That shit sounds tight.
It was bow season out there, and I couldn't get shit, dude. This dude would just sit on a tree for like 30 minutes. He'll see a fucking deer, shoot the fuck out of it.
Shoot the fuck out of it.
When you say that, all I'm imagining is multiple arrows at once.
No, dude, usually like one or two shots, and then he just jumped down, get it by its legs, and just throw it over his shoulder and look for another tree. Dude, we got 3 deer like that.
This fucking guy?
Dude,
Did you go hunting with Joe Rogan?
Literally, fuck.
Dude, he was a fucking animal.
Did he have a regular bow or a crossbow?
He had a regular bow. He didn't like crossbows.
This man is a fucking monster.
Yeah, it was dope, dude. And then
that's just a random like friend you met out there or through work?
No, he was actually training me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
That's
I got really close to them, bro.
Well, I know where you're going to be in a couple of years.
Yeah, dude.
Packing a dip out in the fucking woods.
Dude, everybody dips over there.
Oh, I bet. Are you kidding me? It's a culture thing out
I
there.
pack a chew a couple times, but
Notice how you see no old people that dip because they're either all dead.
right.
They just
Dude,
in
yeah,
hospitals.
a shitload of people are missing teeth.
Oh my god. See, like they come out here and they're like, damn, everybody jewels out here. Same shit.
Dude, nobody vapes over there.
Yeah.
So they were looking at my shit. They were like, "What the fuck?"
they go old school. It's just tobacco or nothing.
Yeah, no, it's fucking dope, dude. We got to his fucking house. He skinned that deer in like 10 minutes.
Of course he did.
Dude, that shit tasted
With his
so
fingernails.
bomb.
So wait, did you actually get to eat some?
Yeah, I did.
How was it?
Dude, it was delicious.
I bet.
Yeah, and he made deer jerky also. Oh, dude, it was so fucking good.
Damn.
Yeah, dude.
Fuck, that sounds really dope to be surrounded in all the time.
That's what I'm saying, dude. I mean, I wasn't even used to being around that many trees.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a fucking culture shock.
Dude, when I came over here for that one day I was telling you guys about, I was like, what the fuck is this? You know? Dude, like
LA.
Dude, like no one litters out there. At least it's fucking clean as shit.
Yeah, they take care of it. Like when I went to North Carolina, Tennessee, Kentucky, like those places, all green, all clean, everyone minding their own fucking business.
Right, exactly, dude.
And it's dope. Like, yeah, you get some bad looks because you can clearly tell we're from California.
City boy.
Like you can clearly fucking see.
No, you
but
can tell for sure.
aside from that, like everyone just minds their own business and it really is clean and it's nice as shit.
It's beautiful, dude.
Yeah.
When
How was the weather when you were out there?
When I was out there, it wasn't humid at all.
See,
So I
that's dope.
I got really lucky.
Yeah, that's how it was with Tennessee. I got lucky on that trip. They were like,
Right.
before we got there, it rained for 4 days and it was just nasty.
Yeah.
And when we left, it rained for another 4 days. But the whole time, it was just clear. And
that's exactly how it was with me too. It rained like once or twice.
Yeah.
But it was fucking beautiful rain, dude. I was out there whipping it.
I don't think I've ever witnessed crazy ass like
It wasn't
humidity.
crazy. I witnessed humidity in Hawaii actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Hawaii was pretty fucking humid, dude. I think that's why I wouldn't.
I guess
move out
that
there.
makes
Was
sense.
it like, did it get up to 100%?
No, it didn't get to 100%. I think it was like at 70 the most.
Dude.
But yeah, it was. But me and Yvonne like to spend a lot of time walking just to see that shit, and dude, it was fucking terrible.
Oh yeah, I bet.
she
You were
couldn't
probably
even
cooking
wear
like a pig. Yeah, exactly. Just dripping all the time.
Yeah, dude.
When I was in Kansas, they hit 100% humidity, and
That's so gross.
it's that type of shit where you walk out the shower and never fully dry off,
Right.
or you like,
Yeah.
or you get out of the car that you drove there in, which has nice conditioned dry air,
Right.
and you get out and you kind of feel like a fish out of water, how you're just kind of like gasping for your regular amount of oxygen, and it feels like you're breathing in water.
Right.
It is
That's so gross.
awful.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. I witnessed that when I went to Central America, but I haven't gone ever since. So now that I'm older, I haven't really witnessed it.
Yeah.
But 100% humidity is fucking terrible.
When I did a wedding in Idaho recently, I think it was like 70% humidity.
Even 70% feels terrible.
And it was terrible in jeans. Like it sucked, but yeah, please. You got to leave in like 10 minutes.
You gotta leave in 20, dog.
I mean, I don't really care.
I don't mind.
Yeah,
I'm chilling.
that's fine by me. But the humidity is fine in
Right.
shorts. But
Right.
I had to wear a dress shirt and jeans.
Yeah,
right
that's
next
terrible.
to a fucking lake, and I was like, "This is
And
this is
you were
torture."
working too, so you were always moving
And having like gear that I was having to pick
Yeah.
up. So, dude, I remember just standing there, and I think I was just staring straight, and one of the photographers we were looking at was like, "You all right?" And I was like, I just can't. I can't concentrate. I can't fucking think straight. No, I can't do humidity. That's why this high desert dry heat. I love it. I love it.
Right.
It sucks. It's hot. That's fine, but it's not humidity.
It's not humid at all. It's like it's a dry hot.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Man, it feels fucking great.
Like you can actually shower and dry off, and only really sweat if you're in the sun.
Yeah.
Like, or if you're active, obviously.
Right. No, yeah. When I came back from Hawaii, I think it hit like 105 here, dude. I was enjoying that shit.
Out here?
Yeah, dude. I didn't feel like it was hot at all.
Hot in Hawaii?
No, it hit 105 here.
Uh-huh.
But Hawaii, the humidity was terrible.
Oh yeah.
And so when I came back here, I started to enjoy our heat more.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know?
It's a much different ballgame.
Yeah, no, it is.
As compared to I mean, yeah, that's fine.
I was like, oh.
I'm either down to keep going. Well, actually, I
It's up
kind
to
of
you, dude.
I got to wrap at like 5:30 latest.
Yeah, that's cool.
But I mean, that's fine
Yeah.
by me if we go past
Right.
whatever time he has to leave.
Yeah, that's cool.
Oh shit, there was somebody at the front door. For anybody listening, Caleb has to leave because
You want to?
yeah. Caleb has to leave because he has a class to go to now. So we're trying to figure out that whole thing. But Francisco and I will probably continue it a little bit past that. Dude, I haven't seen you in
I think since the last podcast.
No.
No, you came to work.
Yeah,
No,
I came to work. I was like, don't do that to me.
Yeah.
I haven't been that distant. Thank you. Yeah, it's crazy how different life gets when you're not around the people that you used to work with. Like, for example, I stopped working at US Tool, and I keep in touch with Tess a lot.
Right.
But I don't ever see Tess. I
Yeah,
see
it's
Sean
too-
a
it's
lot
too hard.
because Sean and I have
you
the
guys
same
take
field
pictures together.
Yeah, but like I rarely see you. You're a busy ass dude.
Oh,
So I
dude,
mean that's
yeah.
far different. You got the promotion too. Congratulations.
Thank you, man.
Which is
Thank
fucking
you.
crazy because that's what you were going for was a training,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I was trying to get that.
So now you're doing who?
Now I'm working inside quality control.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, so just inspecting tools.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
dope.
so
You're
it's-
working with Jordan?
Yeah, I'm working with Jordan.
That's tight.
Yeah, it's great, dude.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, so
great.
he gets his taste of country out here too.
I'm trying to convince that dude to go fishing.
I mean, he's told you about the stories about him fishing, right?
Yeah, I think he. Actually, let's not talk about him.
All right. But yeah, he had a crazy ass life right before he started working at US Tool, from what I know.
Yeah, he lived in Washington.
Yeah.
And he had some time in Alaska.
Yeah. He was in Alaska for 6 months, I think.
That's when he was doing I know we're not going to keep going on
Yeah,
him, but like that's
Talking
when he
about
was
this guy.
Yeah,
That's when he was doing the he was out on a boat, right?
he was out on a boat fishing salmon.
And wasn't it for like
Yeah.
weeks at a time?
No, I think it was 6 months straight. And I think
Fuck. See, I wanted to say that, but I didn't want to overshoot it. That's fucking nuts.
He was telling me that the fucking boat broke down, so most of the time they were working on fixing it.
That sucks, dude. Imagine your only life source in the middle of a fucking ocean. It just keeps breaking on you. Like there's nothing you can do. Oh, that's fucking terrifying. That is one of my worst fears, is like being in the middle of nowhere, whether that's the fucking Sahara Desert with literally nothing around you and whatever you're using breaks, or like the ocean and just a vast area and being stuck.
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah,
no.
that's scary as fuck.
That's a fucking huge fear. I can't even imagine what that's got to be like, though.
We don't even get a taste of that. We have self-service fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's literally like we have no idea what it's like to survive because
at
we
all.
literally are given all the things we need to survive.
People think that we're like the top of the chain when it comes to like evolution. It's like, no, we evolved to be smart.
Yeah.
If you put us in an arm wrestling match with a gorilla,
Yeah,
we're
we're
not
gonna
top of
fuck
the
up.
evolutionary line there.
Oh, no.
If you want to swing from trees or fly or swim, like we're gonna fucking
Strip
die.
us of everything, and honestly, there's like very few things that we could kill.
Yeah, I mean, we actually just down to our like biology, we're actually really fucking good at distance running. We're like better than most animals.
Yeah,
ever.
because of our breathing techniques.
and the fact that we're bipedal helps like a fucking ton. But that was the I guess like the understanding at the time was hunter gatherers, they didn't need to outrun the prey, they just needed to outlast it.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine just like that, like little faster than a jog run and just maintaining that till an animal gets tired just so you can eat. You're hungry
Right.
while you're doing this shit. Fuck that.
From
man.
what I learned in one of the podcasts that I was listening to, I forget what the guy's name was that we actually have different breathing techniques compared to almost every animal, I think, if not all of them, where it allows us to keep that endurance. We know how to pace our breaths versus an animal where they just fucking take off until they literally can't run anymore because they can't fucking breathe. But what you were saying was the fact that we have the endurance on them. But I mean, try chasing a fucking cheetah. It has enough time to fucking break in between each stop.
Right.
It's so far gone.
Yeah, it's just what, 70 miles per hour?
I don't think that fast.
I think it's
But
70.
yeah,
look
if
it
you
up,
really-
look it up.
I fucking hope so.
No, it's 60.
Is it?
It's 60.
It's 60 or 70.
Yeah. I looked this up recently.
75 miles per
I'm
hour.
telling
Wait, a
Dude.
cheetah?
Yes.
Is it really?
Check an ostrich.
That's
Check an ostrich.
Ostriches are fast.
Dude, yeah.
crazy.
But the fastest
65 to 75 miles per hour is the
okay.
stat. So good job, boys.
cheetahs
Even
are
a
the-
lion hits 50.
I was looking this up because there's a bird, no bullshit, that flies at 200 miles per hour.
What
Yeah,
the fuck?
But
dude?
it doesn't fly.
It drops.
It drops. But
still,
it's
yeah,
an
that's-
eagle. It dives, and at its fastest fucking diving pace, it's at 200 miles per hour.
That's insane.
Like, how does it not fucking
Yeah.
rip
It
apart?
just fucking breaks the sound barrier.
Let's see.
Ostriches.
Yeah. Ostriches, dude, just the way they fucking run is hilarious.
Dude, yeah.
So yeah, humans run around like what, 20 miles an hour,
yeah, at most.
and that's the good humans. Ostriches run at 43 miles per hour. Can you imagine running from that thing and it's doubling on you?
Brown hares, they run at 48.
Nice.
So blue wildebeest runs at 50, which
A wildebeest?
a wildebeest.
That's fucking terrifying.
Dude, that thing is fucking
No wonder
fast for the way it
Mufasa
looks.
fucking died.
Marlins swim at 50. The pronghorn antelope is at 60. A sailfish is at 68.
That's
which
fucking
a
crazy.
sailfish has that fucking long ass needle on the front of its face.
That's probably so.
So
what,
imagine like getting
hydrodynamic?
pierced.
my
Like it
gosh,
knows it's just
dude.
swimming towards something, just gonna pierce it.
Well, there have been people who there was this fucking. I think it was a woman. I don't know, guy or girl, one of the two. They were fucking like deep sea fishing, and one of the and I fucking shit you not, I watched an Animal Planet fucking piece on it. They were fucking catching swordfish, and they tried pulling the swordfish up onto the boat, and the nose of the swordfish, the fucking bayonet it has
Right.
on the end of its snout, pierced the inside of their mouth. They were yelling because it was coming right at them, and it went right in their mouth and like cut up the back of their throat and like damn near killed them.
Oh my god.
Can you imagine?
Insane. How do you even survive that, dude?
It like just didn't go deep enough. Like it just barely went in, fucked their mouth up, and came out.
That's terrible.
I would shit myself. That would
I bet
terrifying.
they did. I just
dude.
didn't talk about it.
Yeah, probably.
That's crazy.
Cheetah at number 5 is 70. We'll call it 70. Spur-winged goose is at 88 miles per hour, which doesn't make
my
sense for a
gosh.
fucking goose.
God
Like,
damn.
world's largest goose can
Is
fly
that?
it.
Oh, is that flying? Okay.
Yeah, flying apparently.
Bro, it better
say
be
homie is
flying.
running.
Are you
Imagine
shitting
it's
me?
running. The frigate or frigate bird or frigate, I don't know, is at 95 miles per hour, which is fucking fast because it's got a huge wingspan. The white-throated needletail, that doesn't even sound real, is at 106 miles per hour. And then the fucking, I might screw this up, peregrine falcon, I think it's peregrine, is at 200 miles per hour. So it goes from 106 and then jumps to fucking 200, just like
That's
that.
crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. I found that fascinating as
Bro,
fuck.
can you imagine being the prey of that thing? Because that's the only logical assumption is that it does that to kill prey.
Right.
You're just like a mouse chilling in a meadow, mind your own business, and then just lights out. You wouldn't even hear anything.
Well-
You wouldn't even see anything. Just
I
dead.
wonder if when it dives that fast, if it goes for land animals or if it dives into the water.
That would be cool. That shit would go deep.
Let me see.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Fastest bird in fact.
One of the coolest fucking things I've ever seen in my life. Oh, now that I think about it, was I was up in Mammoth with Danny, and we were up there a day before June, and it was still a winter wonderland, like covered in snow. And we were out there just like hiking around, looking at all this place. Have you been to Twin Lakes before?
Never, dude. I've never even been up there.
Oh, it's fucking gorgeous. So we were at Twin Lakes up in Mammoth, and as we were hiking up to this frozen waterfall, looked at this dude who had his camera out and he was pointing it up, and I was like, okay, like what's up there? And I turn around and there's a fucking bald eagle perched on one of the biggest pine trees, and I was like, oh, like I had never seen one in the wild before. Huge fucking moment for an American patriot. Like, and I watched this thing spread its wingspan, fly off of the pine tree, dive down to the lake, and catch a fish out of the water, and then fly off.
What the fuck, dude?
And I had my camera out for it, so I got pictures of it doing it. One of the coolest fucking things. Like birds, like some birds are really fucking cool. Some birds you see all the time, but when you see a bald eagle, it just hits different.
It's different.
What time do you have to leave?
Now.
I mean, how crazy is now? Because
my class starts at 6.
I know. I'm only asking because I was going to see if you wanted to do the intro, if you want us to keep going, and I just do the intro on my own.
You guys could do the intro if you want. You could have Francisco sub in for me.
That'd be tight. I'm down for that.
Yeah, first repeat guest gets the first non.
Who's our guest, intro. Francisco? It's Caleb.
No, that's cool. I kind of like it because we only got an hour, and then I'll have some shit to listen to.
True. That's always true. No,
you guys should just take a picture and like put your arm out and like draw like an outline, or you can Photoshop me in a picture. And
I'll just do an outline because I'm not doing all that fucking work.
Oh, I don't mean like a good one. I mean like
I thought you meant like actually Photoshop you in there.
Like throw like a graduation picture of me from Instagram on Paint and just outline it and toss it. I'll post that.
Yeah, I could do that.
All right, cool.
Might actually do that.
All right, boys, I'm out.
Enjoy your class, my dude.
I'm learning how to use Microsoft Word.
Yay. What class is this?
Microsoft Office Introduction.
Is it really?
Yes, it is. We're working on Word. Next is Excel.
After you guys learn how to use Clippy? The fucking little paper clip?
Yeah, bro, we got Windows 2.
Clippy was so fucking cool. I forgot all about that.
Later, man. Drive safe, dude.
Oh, shit. So, now that Caleb's gone that fast instantly. What else is new, dude? I haven't fucking caught up with you in a minute.
Dude, nothing much. I just been working on the car a lot.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How's that been going?
It's going okay. It's just been too fucking hot to work on it. But yeah, it's been ridiculous, dude. And but I'm supposed to go to a show in 20 days.
I thought you were about to say 20 minutes. I was like, fuck, you gotta go too.
No, in 20 days in September.
Are you taking your card for the show?
I'm supposed to.
You're supposed to show it off?
Yeah, I'm supposed to be at a booth, but I fucking doubt I'm gonna fucking make it.
I mean, how much work do you have to do?
I have a good amount of work to do. I probably need another like week or two if I really focus on it.
Yeah.
But I start school next week again.
Doesn't your lady help you with it?
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does. But like I said, it's been way too fucking hot. I'm gonna work on it this Friday actually.
It's good.
Just to see what the fuck I can do. You know?
Yeah. Are you gonna sell this one eventually too? Is that what you want to do? Is like
I mean, if they offer me money, like good money, I'll sell it. But I mean, not really, because I already paid this one off. The last one I hadn't paid off.
Yeah.
So the value of the car of my last car was going down, and I didn't really see a purpose of dropping fucking 20 grand on it. You know what I mean? If it's selling for, let's say 15.
Right. There's no
so
point.
It made no sense. So that's a big reason why I sold it.
Right.
And then this one I paid it off. So might just keep it. And I mean, it's basically brand new.
And your whole thing with like working on cars, is that going to be something where you just buy one, work on it, buy one, work on it?
Yeah, probably. But I want to get multiple cars at once and just have some fun. But really focusing on trying to get a house right now, and want to get the wedding going. You know,
so proud of you. I'm so fucking stoked, dude. It's crazy because I remember we were talking about this a little bit when I first met you. That was when I was back in the relationship.
Right.
You were asking me about my girl, and I was asking you about yours, and you're just like, yeah, like I'm in love with her, and like we've been together for all this time, and I'm gonna marry that girl, and this and that. And I was just like, that's so sick. And then I just get on Instagram that one day and I see that you proposed, and I was like, my boy. Fucking, I honestly didn't. I know that you talked to Caleb a little bit about it.
I was. Caleb was actually helping me pick out the ring.
Yeah, that's what he was telling me. I just didn't know how much information.
Right.
But it's just crazy to me that it goes from me just like, yeah, Francisco's doing cool shit, to now Francisco's engaged and is going to get married and is getting a house. And you're how old again?
21.
That's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, 21.
Oh yeah, that's right. Because I remember we were going out drinking. And you couldn't drink at that time.
I just turned 21,
which we still haven't done since you turned 21.
We haven't gone drinking.
We can go play pool and drink.
Dude, I'm so down.
That would be dope.
I'm so down
for that. I mean, the only place we have is what?
Sharky's. Yeah.
I was gonna say Shakey's, and I was like, no, that's the fucking
Sharky's, and we have the bowling alley too, but those pool tables are kind of weak.
Yeah,
I think Sharky's has better pool tables.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah, we got to set it up, man.
Dude, I'm always the thing.
It's hard to make plans with you, dude.
It's hard to make plans.
Your schedule really fluctuates.
It's fucking crazy. Like I actually just got a missed call, probably about a job. Like it's constantly fluctuating, where I thought I had yesterday off and I ended up having to work. I found out like 16 hours before. Right. And it's just like, it's one of those things where I'm constantly figuring it out as it goes. And it's still relatively new information with me and my boss to like figure out how certain days are going to work and stuff like that. But yeah,
man, you're in your field, dude.
It is.
You're having fun.
And that's exactly it. It's great and I'm enjoying it. The only thing that's a little rough now is just trying to figure out when like free time is,
right? So
that I can actually like set things up. And my boss and I were talking about it, so that's fine. That's dandy. But it is one of those weird things where I don't have a set schedule. Right. And that is honestly to some extent something I do miss, because as much as like I love having this fluctuating schedule and there are periods where I work a lot and then there's periods where I don't work at all.
And you still get paid.
And you still get paid, and that's great. But when you have this set schedule, whether that's when I was working at US Tool, it's Monday through Thursday, sometimes Fridays, but rarely ever for me. It was like, I know that in 4 months from now, I'm going to have that weekend off. So it's like, I'm good. I can set that in. And it's hard for plans with friends too. Like you know, we're going to plan this at some point. And I actually do want to go and do that. I want to start making plans and setting them in stone. Cause then Sean hit me up too. And he's like, let's go get dinner. And I'm like, okay, I think I can do that tomorrow. And it's like, does that work for you? Cause that's the only thing that works for me, is being able to plan it the next day kind of thing. But
that's pretty rough, dude.
It is.
But I mean, I'm sure it's worth it.
Yeah. It's definitely a learning process. Of just trying to figure out the scheduling thing, but definitely fucking worth it within the field. Learning a shit ton.
I bet
it's crazy. Like when I look at video now and knowing, like I knew enough about video and I knew enough about photo, but when you do it every single day, excuse me. It really does like change your entire perspective on the amount of information that you do know. Yeah. And you know how that is. Like if you were to not work on your cars for X amount of weeks and come back, you're rusty. Yeah. Same thing with literally anything.
Right. Yeah, dude, it's great working in your field, dude. Like I actually interned when I was 14 years old at a court.
At a court?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like the judge's assistant, basically.
At 14?
Yeah, at 14.
That's fucking wild.
Yeah, I was actually at a juvenile court. And so I would just sit in and hear it out. And after the case was done, I would just, look over the penal codes, talk to the judge about it. Like he would give me all this feedback of what he thought about it. Yeah. It was great, dude. I was in the judge's chamber with him. Yeah. Like just sitting there drinking coffee, talking to him. Like dude, yeah, it was fucking insane. Like there was 2 other interns. They were both in their late 20s. Yeah. And I was 14 years old in there.
That's so fucking crazy.
Yeah, it was great.
And after that, it was just like a one-time thing?
Yeah, I did it for close to a year. He still emails me here and there.
That's dope.
Yeah, he says, how am I doing? Like how's school going? All that stuff.
That actually brings me up to my next point. How is school?
That's great, dude.
Yeah,
it's great.
Still fucking grinding it out,
dude. I'm flourishing right now.
Really?
Yeah, right now I'm getting into my favorite classes. So I'm just taking like modern U.S. history.
Yeah, I know because you're becoming a lawyer, correct?
Yeah, I want to be a lawyer.
So how much longer do you have in school, depending on how much you crunch and whatnot?
Yeah. So I'm projected to transfer to UCLA.
When?
Within a year.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it's awesome, dude.
Wow.
It's unreal, literally. But I got into the honors program at my school. And then, so basically the way it works, it's a UCLA TAP program. So by the end of the semesters of my classes, I have to do a project for every single course. Yeah. And I get UCLA credit for it. And
that's fucking good.
It's
dude.
amazing, dude. That's why I drive down there.
Yeah.
And I get a pick between UCLA, UC Berkeley, like all these big ass schools, dude.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna choose UCLA. It's it's
Hell yeah.
local.
That see with those programs, I always fucking forget. I know that we work a lot with like Anderson School of Management,
Right.
Yeah, that and their FEMBA program and whatnot. But I know that we're going to probably eventually start branching into more. So there may be a point where I will probably be running into you a lot there. That would be so sick.
Yeah, that's dope.
Congratulations. It's really fucking cool to like hear, especially because we're, I don't know, we're 3 to 4 years apart. 3.5. We'll call it 3.5. 3.5 years apart. But you obviously know how it is when you get out of high school. And you have friends that are going to go and do things. Yeah. And you have your friends that are not doing anything. And there's literally like nothing in the middle.
Yeah. No, 100%. I don't talk to anybody from high school, actually.
Yeah. I remember us talking about that a little bit.
Right. Yeah. I have one friend, my friend Jesse, just about the only guy I talk to. Yeah. And the other guys I met through cars. But when I first graduated high school, I graduated valedictorian, like how I told you before. I actually went to Cal State Fullerton. And I was at Cal State Fullerton for a year, and I got really lonely. And I wasn't doing so good in school. Like I was just kind of out of it. I was working full time still. Yeah. And so I was just fucking myself up. And I was 19 years old. So what did I do? I fucking dropped out. Yeah. And that's when I came back over here and I started welding. Mm-hmm. And that's where I got my other job out here locally. And I was working full time, dude. And I just felt like something was missing. Mm-hmm. And like I would talk to my fiance about it. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Like I was doing so fucking good in school and now I'm over here. You know what I mean? Like I'm fucked up. And that's when I decided to go back into school. Right. And like, dude, I'm going crazy into it. This coming fall, I'm gonna have 6 classes. Yeah.
Oh my God. See, at least because I know that you'll be able to do it. Yeah. Just because I've seen you do. What was how many classes were you doing when I was working?
I was taking 7.
Oh my God. Yeah, okay, so you're oh my God. Dude, that's so dude, yeah. I don't even know how you do that.
I don't know how I do it.
You have your fiance, your dog, your full-time job, 7 classes at a time, now 6. Yeah. I don't even get it.
It's hard, dude. But I live off of flow. I live off of consistency and over basically I'd rather be consistent in something instead of trying to go all in. So what I really do is I do a little bit every single day. Yeah. No matter what. And I reach a point where I get super excited about it that I keep on doing it.
That's good. That's something that I've been talking to with a few friends about within the field that I'm in is you have people that, and I was becoming one of those people, or I was just doing it every so often, you know, whenever it was convenient or whenever there was money made. Right. But the more that you do something, the more that you actually will fall in love with it.
Oh, dude, 100%.
Like you have to just get past that speed bump of like the learning curves.
You reach a certain plateau. Yeah. And you're just kind of like, fuck, what else is there? But like I said, like consistency over intensity. Yeah. Like I'd rather fucking, stay flowing, get a little excited, and that makes me want to come back tomorrow and do it. Right. And if I do too little, if I do it here and there, I'll get fucking bored and I won't want to do it. Yeah. And that's something I was actually telling Caleb. And that's the reason why he got that motherfucking class.
You're the reason?
I told him, I was like, bro, you got to stay curious. Yeah. Like you have to want to go and fucking learn. Yeah. And, he saw that I got an A, and I guess he wanted just to fucking go and get the classes. I was actually taking a summer course while I was in Missouri. Yeah. And dude, it was only a 4-week fucking class.
Wait, the whole time you were in Missouri, you were also taking a class while learning every subject you needed to about your new job. Yeah. You're a fucking dude. I don't understand your work ethic. It is nuts.
Yeah, it was fucking great. I actually really fucking enjoyed the class.
That's right. I saw you doing schoolwork. Why didn't I thought that was for the job.
That was school.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I took criminal law over the summer.
Wow. Okay, so now this makes even like your trip even crazier that you were able to like go fishing and fucking go bow hunting.
I was doing everything, dude.
Damn.
But like I said, every single night I would just sit down on the fucking desk and just work for 3-4 hours.
That blows my mind, especially because I always sometimes revert back to what I originally thought about people. And just when I fucking saw you, I was like, this guy is just working here and doesn't want to like do his job. And for anybody that doesn't know, I explained it in the last episode that he was on. Yeah. But in short, like I thought Francisco was doing jack shit with his life and just hated everybody at the job. And then I find out that this dude's a fucking mastermind and goes to school and wants to become a lawyer. Because again, to restate the points of last time, it was like, didn't want to talk to anybody. Yeah. Listen to, in my eyes, not in everybody's eyes, but shit music. Yeah. And then you worked on fucking cars and they just were loud and low to the ground. So in my head, I'm like, all right, I could probably get along with him, but it's nuts to fucking hear this, dude. And now you want to buy a house too.
Dude, that's something that I tell my girlfriend a lot is I like to switch modes. Yeah. You know, when I'm at work, I don't really like to show that I'm in fucking school. I don't like to show my fucking stress. I don't like to show nothing, dude. I just, mind my own business, chill, and I just be a good friend to everybody.
Yeah. And that's a damn good trait to have is to be able to separate the things that you need to separate.
Right. But then like you place me into a fucking classroom environment. Like you'll get the other side of me. Right. So I've tried to master that.
You've done really well, especially because you fooled the fuck out of me.
Yeah, like whenever I'm around just casual people, I try not to sound too sophisticated.
Mm-hmm. That's why I always enjoyed our conversations because it makes it a lot easier for me when people can break things down. Because what I tend to do with information, like what you were talking about with
Dred Scott.
Right. I was going to say Dredrick, but it's not Dredrick. Dred Scott, close enough. Got the dread part. So. But when you were explaining that, like to a certain extent, you were slowing it down in a way that I can understand it because when too many different things get thrown that I don't know about, get thrown into one paragraph, I lose track really fucking fast. But you were like reverting back to it.
Yeah, so I tried to kind of like stop and try to reference something else so you can kind of understand it a little better.
And that is a perfect fucking way to communicate, dude. And I think that having that, I don't think people even really realize that that's kind of a skill to have.
It really is. Yeah, it really is.
Oh my God, this fucking beer. But to have that skill where you can not only separate yourself from, like I said, the different things that you need to do, but to be able to communicate with multiple different groups on different levels and literally different, it's not languages, but different languages. You get what I'm saying?
It really is.
Yeah, it's a fucking skill to have. Yeah. And it's dope. And I think that's why we got along. I think that's why you and Caleb get along on top of the fucking fact that you guys are history nerds. Like
it's hilarious, dude. Me and Caleb will fuck around the entire day, just talk about bullshit. But me and Caleb have some fucking crazy debates. Yeah. We have some crazy philosophy debates. He tells me a lot about fucking world history. I tell him about U.S. history. Like it's insane, dude. Yeah. And I think that's why I've gotten really close with Caleb. Yeah. Because initially I was actually going for a political science major, and I met Caleb, and dude, he was just telling me, he was like, dude, you should just go for a fucking history major. Like you're good at history. And so now I'm double majoring actually.
Oh Jesus, fuck, dude! You're not like, oh, I switched it up. No, I just got to layer that on top of it.
I'm a double major now.
No shit. Yeah. So your workload got literally doubled.
Yeah, literally.
Fuck, man.
Because right now I should be taking my last 3 classes of political science, and so I'm taking 3 and 3. So I'm taking 3 political science classes and 3 history classes.
God damn! How much does your original was poli-sci, right? Yeah. So how much does poli-sci bleed into?
A lot.
So you have a large percentage of the classes done already,
right? So for example, like how I was telling you about the Dred Scott court. Yeah. So in political science, you learn about that precedent and you learn about what that court basically established. And I learned that in history, and then I went to political science, and then it's like, oh, you got to know the Dred Scott v. Sanford case. Yeah. And it's like, I already fucking knew that shit. You got to know like the Marbury v. Madison case, and I already knew it because of history. Yeah. So it's not hard at all. Nice. But when it does come to world history, it gets a little tougher. Yeah. But for the most part,
I mean, is it tougher or is it just new information?
It's just new information. Okay. Like I'm a fucking patriot.
I was going to say, dude, you were probably overloaded with information.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm super overloaded.
Do you ever just sit there with anybody else and talk about this stuff, or is it mostly just
Not
Caleb?
really, I've actually been trying to encourage my girlfriend to learn a lot of it.
Yeah.
So I can keep having discourse with her about
Fiance.
it. Yeah, my fiance. Sorry.
I was hoping one of us was going to say,
dude. It's so hard just switching it up.
Well, that's one of my points was like, are you talking with her a lot, or do you just cut that part off and just talk to her about?
She gets all sides of me.
Yeah.
She gets every single side of me. Like, we had a philosophy course together. And for example, we were talking about fucking dualism. We were talking about fucking determinism. And it's like I would talk to her and she wouldn't really reply back, but she'll let me rant.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that's good enough.
She's like, oh, baby, you're so cute. Just keep going.
But no, it really is motivating. Like I've had her in a couple of my classes and it's like it feels really good because the reason why I'm doing this is for her.
Yeah.
You know? So just having her there, dude, is fucking everything to me.
Yeah.
Like even if I have to help her on some fucking tests, like that'll do. You
Right.
know?
But it's still, like you said, it's for her and to just be able to relate with her on those things. Because it's always really hard. And it's what I realized with not only with relationships, but with people in general, is when you have separate lives completely, it's really hard to relate. And when it comes down to like relationships, you know, when you have an interest in something and they have an interest in something else, you have to find its common ground. So the fact that you guys can actually share.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
She's actually a psychology major, and she works in a makeup chemistry lab. I don't know if you knew that. Yeah. Do you know who Jeffree Star is?
Wait, she works for Jeffree Star's company?
She works for Jeffree Star.
What the fuck? Yeah. I did not know that, dude.
She makes makeup for a living, dude.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't she also, I know it's a completely side note just because you were like, she makes makeup. And I was like, isn't she also a really good cook?
Yeah.
Like,
she makes the best shit ever. Like, for example, when we went to Hawaii, we went to this one famous spot called Leonard's. And they had these Portuguese malasadas. And it's basically just fucking bread, dude. Like, you know, just like regular bread.
Yeah.
And she's going to make that on Friday while I work in my car.
That's so sick.
Yeah.
You have this like perfect fucking husband-wife thing already set up. It's so good.
It's working great so far.
But to beg the Jeffree Star, how the fuck did she get that job?
I don't even know how she landed it, dude.
Where is she based out of?
In Chatsworth.
So does she drive out there all the time? Is it like a Monday through Friday type thing?
She commutes Monday through Friday.
And okay, so what is her job description exactly?
She's a makeup chemist.
And she literally just creates new...
Yeah, she creates new makeup. Like all his new shit that comes out, she's the one that makes them. Yeah, it's fucking crazy, dude. Like I'll see him post some shit on Instagram that like new shit coming out and I knew about it months ago. Dude.
Yeah, dude, that's so sick.
Yeah, it's dope as fuck.
That guy's a fucking mastermind.
Oh, he is.
It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Have you ever watched any of his videos?
Oh, I have, dude. He's a fucking animal.
He literally, like, there's a video that I watched where he's got this like $10,000 or $15,000 Louis Vuitton purse.
Oh, dude, have you seen his fucking closet video?
Not his closet one though. I've seen his garage though.
Dude, his closet video is insane.
I could only imagine.
He has like Supreme Louis Vuitton. He has Gucci everywhere. All these rare Louis Vuitton pieces.
And
like,
you know how much fucking money a year that guy makes?
Dude, I know.
And it's crazy because I actually went to this concert called Bamboozled Left Stage.
I've never heard of
it. It was like, I don't even think it's still around. I could be wrong. But it was everything from like heavy metal to indie music to 50 Cent played. Like it was weird as shit. It was like all over the fucking place. But he was walking around. And this was when he first was like coming to, fruition. Like he came out of the closet. He had the pink hair and he was wearing dresses and he's tatted from neck down to, or from fucking head to toe, literally. Yeah. And just like completely out of the ordinary. And I remember thinking like, God, that guy just looks so odd to me. And then now I don't know if he's in like the Forbes shit.
Oh, dude, I'm sure he is.
I'm pretty sure he is.
I know he invested into cannabis. So
of course he did. I don't see why he wouldn't.
Yeah, he's glowing. Like, dude, did you know that Mike Tyson actually opened his cannabis plantation in California City?
Is it really that close?
It's in California City.
Is it open though, or is it?
I don't know if it's open. I don't know that
because I want to go so badly,
dude. Yeah, because
I bet it's expensive as shit though.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Because I was listening to a podcast and they referenced that it was in California City. I was like, holy shit.
That is so fucking sick. His whole idea on it is dope as hell.
No, yeah, for sure.
To have like a hotel, but also be a basically not recreational center, but like a spa for cannabis.
Right.
Like it's just so that's such a good idea.
Have you ever heard of Lowell Herb?
No.
They're actually the first company to open up a cannabis cafe in LA.
Really?
Dude, yeah.
Like, do you end up getting high from?
No, you can get in there and buy weed, and it's like you can buy coffee at the same time.
Yeah.
So they're gonna open, I think, in September.
That's so sick.
Yeah. They came from Mendocino County, up north, and now they're down here in like West Hollywood. I think they have a spot in Sun Valley, but their actual cafe is opening up soon, and you can buy like their packs. They have like pre-rolled joints.
Yeah.
And they're organic, no pesticides, all this shit.
No
dude.
shit.
Dude, the packaging is amazing. I'd have to show you after.
Not that like you're into that stuff.
No,
but
no.
Like,
No, but it's dope. And
when it opens, if you remember, definitely let me know about that because I would fucking going to that would be so sick,
dude. Yeah,
especially because like I'm diving into weed a little bit more.
Right.
And just like understanding like what it does to me and different things. Like okay, I have this fucking problem. It's kind of the same problem as like when you first start drinking, you don't know your limitations, but you kind of learn very quickly. Except with pot, if you don't smoke that often, like you can get fucked up real fast on accident.
Right.
And I misheard somebody recently. I smoked a pen of theirs and I thought they said it was 99% CBD and like 1% THC. And they said, no, it was after I hit it. They're like, wait, what did you think you just smoked? I was like, the CBD pen. They're like, no. It's 99% THC. And I had taken a stupid big hit. And I remember like 15 seconds in, I was like, oh my God, I'm really high. Dude, I was tripping fucking balls. And like it cut off the rest of my night. Like a friend of mine was over and she ended up having to go home because I just couldn't even function. I was like staring at shit on my bed and not knowing what to do with it. Like I was trying to like get the house set up and I remember just staring and it was like 5-10 minutes had gone by and I hadn't moved. And I was like, I'm really gone. But I'm trying to get like more into it and have an understanding of it because I know from smoking like it's like a hybrid between THC and CBD. I think it was more CBD though.
Yeah.
It makes my body I get really good sleep. Mm-hmm. I get this type of body high where I feel relaxed and it's a complete stress reliever where it's almost like a reset for the week. Right. So I'm trying to learn more about it as much as I possibly can.
Wait, what do you usually smoke, like sativa or indica?
See, that's the thing is when it comes down to that, it's a mixture. I don't really know.
So if you're getting a hybrid, it is a mixture.
Right. But the hybrid from what this is how little I understand things like this is like the pen that I've been smoking was just a hybrid between a THC and a CBD, but I don't know if it's like indica or sativa or anything like that. I don't know how that plays into things. Right. I remember smoking a few joints back then that were just like one was sativa, one was indica, one was a hybrid. I didn't like the hybrid at all. Like at all. Was not a fan of that shit. But I know for sure like THC, especially pure THC, not good for me. Not good at all.
Just fucking
my
pass
brain,
out.
dude, I pass out, I freak out. Like I straight up trip fucking balls. So that's why I need to really learn this stuff so I stop smoking the wrong stuff before I get fucked up.
Have you ever tried like an edible?
No, I actually really want to. Really? I just don't know how those work. So there's an intimidation factor behind some of these things, especially because, like I said, not knowing what I was smoking before and getting fucked up. In my head, I get this weird like, yeah, but what if it does this to me? And I don't really like the way it feels.
Edibles are a little more psychoactive than actual tree.
Right.
So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially because you don't want to eat too much and you want to give it a good amount of time for it to kick in.
Right.
Because you see that shit on Twitter all the time where they're just like, yeah, I ate like a brownie and nothing happened. So I ate 6 more and I am in my closet hiding. And I'm just like, I don't want to be that. I don't want to ever be that high where I'm freaking out in my closet.
You're almost fucking terrified.
Yeah. Like I remember I was smoking with some friends and they put on one of the Alien movies and Michael Fassbender is acting in it. I think it was one of the Alien movies. And in the movie, Michael Fassbender is speaking to Michael Fassbender and it's like a split screen effect with filming. You know, they just filmed the two separate parts and stitch it together. But in my head, I'm like, how is that possible? And I remember I kept like trying to go to sleep, but I'd peek my eye and I'm staring at it. I'm like, he's still talking to himself. I was freaking the fuck out. And that happened before watching South Park, where Stan's dad is talking to Grapes, and the Grapes start talking back to him. And I remember asking my friends, I'm like, is that actually happening? And they're like, yeah, dude, he's talking to the Grapes. I said, okay. And then like 3 seconds passed by. And I forgot that I had asked a friend on my left. So I asked a friend on my right, and he's like, dude, I heard you ask him, like, you're good. Just go to bed. And then I knocked out. So like, that's why I want to refrain from that kind of stuff and actually learn. Because when it comes to CBD, okay, here's my lack of knowledge. So you can tell me if you know all these different things. Sativa and indica are two separate strains. Yeah. That one's like a head high, one's a body high, right? Kind of. I feel like sativa will kind of get you moving more. And indica will kind of let you just fucking knock out and chill. Right. So that's why I'd say indica is better than sativa. Yeah. Because you want to chill. Right. You don't want to be active as shit. Right. I wonder if like I was in those moments where I was smoking sativa, if I would have just be active, I would have been fine. Right. CBD, is that separate from those things? CBD is, so you can find CBD and THC in both strains. Okay. But so basically CBD is a medicinal part of it, and THC is what gets you high. Okay. But yeah, you can find it in both strains. Okay. Like for example, you can buy even like CBD balm. Yeah. You know, like my mom has arthritis. Yeah. So I recently just got her CBD balm so she can like put it on her fucking knuckles and shit. Yeah, yeah. And which I heard helps a ton. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. It's a 3-to-1 ratio, so it's three CBD and 1 THC. Yeah, yeah. So so I'm hoping it fucking helps her a lot. So yeah, I've heard that for like muscle inflammation and all those different things, strains, fucking pains, anything that CBD oils, rubs, balms, whatever the fuck, anything CBD, just it basically like completely clears the body of all those things for a time being. Yeah, obviously. And that's why like not trying to get too political with it, but I think drugs should just all be legal. All drugs? I think all drugs. I think there's a lot I'm not entirely against that. I think there's a lot of medicinal purposes in most of them. And I think if we're allowed to go to fucking war and die, why can't we be responsible for what we ingest? Oh yeah. That was one argument that got blown out of proportion by people on fucking Facebook. No, yeah, 100%. The fact that like you can't buy a drink, but you can go to war. Exactly. And then with drugs, it's like you can't explore what life is supposed to be like. And see, this is something that I think about. Like if there was like a certain like enclosed spot where you can try like ayahuasca or psilocybin, and you can actually trip the fuck out under a safe environment. Correct. And what if you get certain like cognitive function benefits? Right. You know, they've already shown benefits with smoking weed with people who have like severe cases of cerebral palsy or Parkinson's. Right. I've seen Parkinson's fucking completely change up, it's dude. Fucking crazy, dude. Like there was a fucking episode of something. It was some guy in the Midwest where it's illegal to smoke. They brought it out there. And he smoked it. And this guy, full body tremors and just twitching and everything, smoked, and about a minute and a half later, completely fine, walking, doesn't need his cane, talking, crazy. Everything's fine. It's crazy. Like I've heard many stories of people that get on LSD when they have PTSD. And dude, they just fucking get out and they feel like they reflected on their entire fucking life. Yep. Like, why is that illegal? I don't know. Did you hear the episode with Caleb Burks? No. Okay. So our buddy Caleb Burks was on. And he had a trip on shrooms, I believe, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And yeah, because they did it in tea. They made like a tea shroom mix, something like that. And he had this whole, and I hope I'm not butchering that. My information for me, dude, because of how much happens every day, it's like it's really hard to hold on to shit. But I believe that's what happened. He had a trip with some of his best friends in an area, and they tripped out for like 3 or 4 fucking hours. And he is on board with it the whole way through. He is like, if you ever want to have a trip, let me know. I'll be your guide. Yeah. Because he said it was one of the most beautiful and exhilarating experiences he's ever had. That's something that's super common with DMT too.
that people say they have the fucking best trips that they've ever had, and that they don't understand why it's illegal.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people that are creating legislation is like, these people have never even tried the drugs. They've never even fucking seen the drugs.
Yeah.
And the majority of them just constantly overlook them and ignore the benefits to them.
Yeah. Because if it's, like you said, if it's monitored in a safe environment and you have somebody, even in, what was it? There is an episode. How often do you listen to Joe Rogan's podcast?
The majority of the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's an episode that he was talking to somebody about that. And I don't know if it was heroin or I don't think it was heroin, but it was like one of the
it might have been DMT. He rants about DMT.
Well, no, because the whole point was drug addicts. They had administered X amount of, basically we'll call it heroin because I don't remember the exact drug, but it was these addicts had a place where they could go where they knew that they needed it in order to function throughout their day. Right. But they were given a certain amount where it was like, here is enough that will get you off of your fucking itch, but will allow you to still function throughout your day.
Right.
And it's like, if that's what you need to get addicts to get better, because eventually you just weed them off of it. Right. Like that. Why is it illegal?
And see, and that's a big argument I have towards Kratom. Like I was telling you last time.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are getting addicted to fucking opiates. Yeah. And why? Because they're trying to make Kratom illegal. And so why are they trying to make Kratom illegal? Just because it's cutting pharmaceutical profits.
It's all profit.
Yeah, it is. And for example, like Kratom, like I was telling you, like it's fucking perfect for pain relievers. Why can't we just fucking stop using fucking ibuprofens and start using Kratom? You know, just like all the little stuff. And like people are getting fucking hooked on oxycodone, on fucking shit, Xanax, anything, dude. And then Kratom can literally stop that because it imitates opiums.
Right. So I feel like anything that can actually help in X amount of doses, that's where they're going to start making it illegal. No, but by they, I mean, I don't even know who they are.
Well, see, like the health and safeties, they don't even understand the purposes of the drugs. And literally once they see that it's cutting pharmaceutical profits, they'll just fucking automatically put fucking section 1, like you're fucking done. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I think that's terrible. I think there needs to be some type of reform to that. Yeah. But
I don't know. I'm all for, like, what was it? Is it Colorado that just made
Colorado just
psychedelics? Or
psychedelics.
All psychedelics?
I think it was mushrooms.
Just mushrooms.
Yeah, I think it was mushrooms.
That's fucking crazy, dude. That is crazy because like that wouldn't have even been thought of years ago. Yeah. And now it's actually like you can go out there and be high off of fucking shrooms.
You can be off of shrooms.
And I guarantee it's going to work out. Right. Guarantee. Because when you start making okay, this is how I see things when it comes down to making certain things illegal. So when I say certain things, I mean to a very few things, because like you don't want to make speeding legal. No, you don't want to have everyone flying around on a freeway at 110.
You don't want to get someone that
But when it comes down to the drug aspect, right? I feel like people treat it like they're children. Meaning that the people who see things that are illegal treat the illegal things like they would if they were a child. Yeah. Oh, I can't do that. You can't tell me what to do. And they start fucking up with it. Right. This is just my view on it. Because when you tell a kid not to do something, they want to do it more because 100%. They want to figure out why.
100%.
Right. And when it comes down to like speeding, right? The speed limit out here on our highways, freeways is 65.
Yeah.
Guarantee 90% of the people out here go 80 on that freeway.
Oh, dude, for sure.
You see it everywhere or faster. Yeah. Because there's no other reason to not follow the speed limit I mean, if you're rushing, but if you really think about it, going 80 versus 65, I believe they did like a study on it, or there was a study done on it, that you get somewhere like 5 or 7 minutes faster, depending on the distance, of course. Right. But if it's like an hour-long drive, you get there 5 minutes faster. What the fuck is that going to shave off? Yeah. Most people, I honestly feel like when you're going 80, you're constantly looking around for cops.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
dude.
Everybody's right. So when it comes down to making drugs illegal, I feel like people look at that and they're just like, "Oh, that's edgy." Like I kind of want to do that a little bit more. I want to see why I can't do these things, and then people start fucking up.
And I think the fact that they're suppressing a lot of the drugs is kind of fucking up the rest of the society, because everybody thinks they're fucking super dangerous and they overlook every single benefit also. Like that's the same thing that's been happening to cannabis for fucking years, you know, and they just completely overlook the benefits of it because of the fact that the media is fucking, you know, demonizing it completely.
Yeah. And because it's been started since the guy that I forget his name, the guy that made cannabis illegal. or fought for it. We were talking about him earlier. The dude who said Canada's just put him out of business, so he was trying. We were talking about that.
I forgot his fucking name.
But because of him, like wasn't that where it kind of started?
That's where the momentum kind of like started.
Correct.
Yeah.
So like since then, it's just people getting misinformation on things.
Right.
Oh, weed kills people. No, it doesn't.
And it's like people will look at a fucking drug addict on the street and be like, "Oh, he's probably off of fucking weed." Hell no, he's not off of fucking weed.
I think that's on we'll go with that's old people off of fentanyl. Oh, and that's an even crazier part is they used to make fucking fentanyl lollipops.
Yeah.
That people would walk around and just fucking have in their mouths. But now I don't understand. Like, okay, obviously I'm going off on a branch on that of just the difference between the fact that it's super illegal now and back then there were fucking lollipops being fed to people. But I mean, obviously there are some drugs that should probably be not, I don't know if it's
at least a little lenient.
Yeah. Like,
because I mean, even in some states right now, if you get caught for possession of marijuana, you get fucking locked up.
Fucked.
Like, what the fuck, dude? You know, that's terrible.
And it's like where we live, it just became legal, but in other places, it's still like, isn't it a felony in some places?
Yeah, I think it's a misdemeanor.
Okay, it's just only a misdemeanor. It's still, that's just batshit fucking crazy to me.
Yeah, no, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. I don't get it.
I don't know, man, but
oh shit, it's 5:40. I was like, yeah, no, that actually worked out nicely. You cool with wrapping it up?
Yeah, dude, let's wrap it up.
I appreciate you for fucking doing this last minute.
Dude, no, man. Thank you guys for having me. Dude.
Yeah.
You guys can call me anytime, bro. I love being here.
Oh, dude, we would fucking absolutely love to have you on more, especially because like you're the first repeating guest, and it's nice. It's nice because like every single time we have somebody on, it's a story, right? And that's totally fine. But it's always something new, always something. But it's always nice to have somebody come on and just literally shoot the shit about anything.
Right,
There's no direction.
Talk. Right.
Just want to say shout out to Caleb for still being here. Thanks, buddy.
He's gonna be listening. He's listening right now. Fuck you,
He's
Caleb.
like, Jesus Christ, that's what you guys talked about for 40 minutes? Just drugs. But all right, cool. So we'll wrap that up. This was I think it's episode 36. I'm gonna go check really quick. I'm just gonna keep talking until I see it. Yeah, it's 36. Dope.
Yeah, you got it.
36. And you're a returning guest. Fuck yeah. So for anybody that hasn't listened, I believe Francisco was on episode 3.
Yeah, I think it was 3 or 4.
3. Let's check. I'm gonna go with 3 because I can't see it up there. So Francisco was on before in the very, very beginning. So if you want to check out that episode, you should. If you enjoyed this one, you'll like that one. And until next time, everybody. I always end it poorly. All right, bye.
See ya.